I have often been asked, where did the Silver Bullet Award tradition at the high school campus come from? And it actually began in 1988 when a high school student found a rather large silver bullet on Hale Street at the base of the high school campus. I was head of the high school campus at the time, and the bullet eventually found its way to me. And somehow, once it was put in my hand, it evoked memories of one of my boyhood favorites, the Lone Ranger, the Masked Man. Many of you may not remember the Lone Ranger, but he rode a beautiful white stallion. He'd ride into these western towns. There'd be all kinds of problems going on wherever he ended up going, and he would work together with the community to make a difference, to solve the problem, to make things better. And when all was said and done, he would ride off into the sunset, but he always left behind a silver bullet as his calling card. I was sort of inspired by this old image and now this tangible bullet in my hand, and the idea of a Silver Bullet Award came to mind, to be presented weekly to a faculty or staff member who, in the estimation of the previous week's recipient, deserved to be recognized for making a difference within the Landmark community. The bullet itself would pass hands weekly as the calling card of the award. The first Silver Bullet Award and the actual bullet were presented by me at a Friday Milkbreak meeting to H. Charles Harry Dudley for the myriad ways that he made Landmark a better place each and every day while seeking absolutely no fanfare. Harry could bask in the glow of the award for the entire ensuing week while also assuming the daunting responsibility of identifying the next recipient and presenting the award the following week on a Friday. Thus it began, or so we all thought. Harry approached me later that day stating, Broody, this is a live bullet. We can't pass this around. So he put it back in my hand. I drove it to the local fire station. The chief came out, looked at it, confirmed Harry's pronouncement that it was a live bullet, and said, Bob, this is a .357 Magnum. You can't pass this around. So he took charge of the bullet, rendering the Silver Bullet Award bulletless. Enter Jim Kent, counselor, who was appalled by this turn of events, went into Lone Ranger mode and shot off a different bullet in his basement, painted it silver, mounted it on a small wooden block, and returned this new silver bullet into circulation. Thus, the silver bullet tradition was established and woven into the fabric of the high school culture. Along the way, the small mounted shell, now residing in my office, morphed into a significantly more substantial missile-type trophy constructed by a talented student and later beautified by Andy Knox, who was technical director of our performing arts department at the time. So too have the presentations morphed and evolved from the exchange of platitudes to now include PowerPoint presentations, videos, music, dance, and more as recipient presenters creatively celebrate and honor colleagues each week. Stories and history are either forgotten or embellished over time. However, the spirit, support, feelings of giving and receiving, ever-present heroes, and the power of community infused throughout Landmark's culture are alive and well as represented by 32 years of weekly Silver Bullet Awards. As the Lone Ranger would say, hi-oh Silver, away, and thank you everybody for keeping this tradition so alive and well.